bro. What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about cold water immersion therapy, more commonly known for rehab and recovery as ice baths. So there's a lot of claims about cold water, about ice baths, about whether we should fully immerse ourselves or if you should do it before training or after training. There's a lot of claims. Let's explore what the research actually says about how cold water immersion, or CWI, and ice baths actually impact our recovery and our performance. So we hear a lot of claims. We hear that it improves muscle recovery, it speeds it up, it decreases your soreness, so the DOMS, the soreness you might have the next day, that it helps you improve better, that it speeds up your recovery time of muscular/tendon injuries, that it reduces tissue inflammation, muscle spasms, all those things that sound really good for recovery. I just want to know if it actually does those things. So there has been a lot of research on this topic, especially in the last 10 years, and this could be because the claims are rising about the wonders of ice bath or just because we're curious. There's also been several systematic reviews and a lot of meta-analysis of the data, which means you take the data from all of the studies or a lot of studies, depending on your criteria, and you look at all of that data on a specific topic, and then you compare just the effect sizes between them to see what has the most impact, what is actually significant, which protocol is most significant, and then you have a better kind of overview of the data. And what the data supports is, yes, there are physiological changes through this reduction in body temperature. One of those potentially helpful things is that we can potentially have an improved repeat performance in hot temperatures. So if we're in the middle of the desert and you gotta run again or you gotta bike again, having an ice bath before or in the middle can actually help your repeat performance, potentially. Cold water immersion also seems to reduce the impact of DOMS, or day after muscle soreness, especially in endurance sports, in the 1 to 2 days after the performance. As always, the brain and body always work together. And cooling down the core body temperature, we're getting kind of an analgesic effect, which could explain the reduction in DOMS and the improved repeat performance, and that is less pain perception. In several studies, it also improved athletes' perception that they have recovered better and faster. Now let's get into what it doesn't do. There have been claims in the past as well that cold water immersion can help anaerobic performance, and that's more strength, power, and sprint performance. The research is pretty clear in saying that it actually doesn't do that. It might be neutral in some cases and it might detract in others. So for aerobic sport like running, biking, it does seem to be helpful, especially in hot temperatures and again, repeat performances. However, for anaerobic, like lifting, it doesn't help our anaerobic performance, especially in maximal strength and maximal sprints. However, in maximal strength, it also doesn't detract from it necessarily, but it's not something that we want to do before. It's also not helpful in between attempts. So if you're powerlifting, you have 3 attempts, you don't want to do an ice bath in between because it has no benefit for you and might actually detract from your next performance. Apart from these anaerobic things, we also don't see a huge benefit for rehabbing injuries, such as if you sit in cold water for 10 minutes once a day, your injury is going to heal faster. We don't really have a lot of evidence for that. What the research did point out is that we really need more specific protocols. We can't just say, go sit in there twice a day for 5 minutes at a temperature of -10 Celsius and you'll be better in 3 days. That's not how it works. It's gonna be different for everyone. It depends on if it's full immersion up to the neck and to the shoulders, if it's just half immersion up to the hips, to the knees, or just the feet, how much we immerse, the temperature, the frequency, and the duration of it. So we need to develop more specific protocols for types of training, types of rehabilitation, the type of athlete, and the athlete's sensitivity and needs as well to find out what's most effective. Because right now, we just have pretty general protocols. As we know, assigning a general protocol isn't gonna give us any specific adaptions, and that's what we need in high-performance sport, and that's what most people are looking for when they're doing rehabilitation anyway. So, in conclusion, cold water immersion does seem to be helpful for repeat performances in hot environments and for reducing muscle soreness after aerobic performance. It definitely has a psychological boost, our athletes feeling like they're more recovered, feeling less pain. However, there were several studies that pointed out that active recovery was equally, if not more, beneficial for feelings of recovery and feelings of less pain than CWI. Cold water immersion therapy isn't helpful for anything anaerobic, especially not repeat performances. So anything where we're going at maximal capacity, CWI isn't necessarily on our side. We're all always trying to be more efficient and more effective, so I hope this gives you more clarity into how CWI is and isn't effective, how you can use it better. I'm not trying to push you away from any ice bath modalities. We just need to be more specific based on what we're doing so that we can actually help our athletes better. Thanks for listening.